Welcome. My name is James Walton, and today I get to interview E. Gordon Gee of West Virginia University, and I'm going to ask him three rapid fire questions. Let's go. I'm so excited to be here today with the one and only E. Gordon Gee and talk to you about where you are in these virtual times. And the one thing I always thought about with you is this idea of presence. Presence both personally with your students, and you kind of see them everywhere on campus, in the classroom, but even off campus at different fraternities and sororities, at different campus establishments where they spend their time. And so I've always wondered, how are you maintaining that presence, that close face-to-face interaction that was so special? How do you maintain that in a virtual environment? What has really worked for you and what hasn't?
I think that that's been one of the real challenges for me, because my life is made up of chemical interaction, the personal relationships, the ability to be able to talk back and forth, the ability to be able to shake someone's hand, the ability to be able to carry on sort of constant conversations, and that has been and that of course has been very stymied. I joke about the fact that they actually put me in an orange jumpsuit. They're not going to let me get out. I just turned 77, James, as you know, and so I was in that kind of vulnerable age group, so I had to be careful. Um, so I've had a team here, as you know. I have a very progressive team at the university, in terms of social media, in terms of getting me into interesting situations where I can interact in different ways. And so we've done that, but we've done it in the virtual world. For example, I just got off a Zoom call with presidential and with our presidential ambassadors, in which they were able to ask me any question they wanted to. This is Las Vegas. Talk to me. Tell me what's going on. So I try to do that. I do a lot of telephoning. I get. I met a father on an airplane the other day, and his son is a freshman at the university, so I got his son's telephone number. One of our state legislators has a freshman here at the university. I asked her to send me her telephone number, so I'll make those telephone calls and do what I can. I also now that I can do it by wearing a mask, I get out tonight. For example, I'll go over to one of the residence halls where they have where they're serving food, one of our big food venues, and I'll just walk through and say hello to people, ask them how they're doing. The point is the fact that presence is important, and physical presence to me is important, because if they see me, then they know that I'm there, but also they know that I'm caring about them, and just a word here and there. Um, but I can't do it every day because it's just sort of impossible. I can't do it at the presence that I'd like to. So I've started using this thing that we're doing right here, connecting with students by Zoom, calling them, and connecting by Facebook, a number of ways. So I think after the pandemic burns itself out, and after we get into sort of what I call the next normal, because I don't believe there's going to be a new normal. I think there's only going to be a next normal. I think what I'll do is I will have learned from this experience that there are a number of ways for me to connect, and I'll try to use that kind of a hybrid approach in terms of connection, so that I can do more good work and still have the personal relationships.
I like that. Next normal. So you've always been someone who's had this, of course, personal life and then professional life, but they've always really been blended together. I mean, you always have your personal family, but you also have this big university that's also your family. And so as you talk about next normal and getting back to some of those things, what do you look forward to doing the most? And what do you think is still going to keep you up at night?
I think that first of all, you're absolutely right. I joke about this, but it's true. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't play golf. I don't go fishing. The university is my life. Obviously I have a wonderful daughter. I have a great son-in-law. I have grandchildren. I have Lori, my fiance, and they are very much my life. But but um, but this is my life, and this is what gives me energy. No one at 77 ought to be doing this unless they absolutely enjoy doing it. And I ask myself the question: if I get up in the morning and I don't have joy, then it's time to get out. But where I view the next normal is that we all have to rethink how we conduct our personal business, how we conduct the world in which we're living, given the fact that people have people have people have missed the human contact, but they also understand that there are a number of ways to communicate. So I've got to be able to capture that. But the thing that I've missed most is I've missed the students. I miss going over, sitting down, having a chance to chat with them, going out late at night to visit in various places where I like to go, where students gather. I've missed that tremendously, and I hope to be able to recapture that. I'll never be able to do it the same, but I hope to be able to recapture those personal relationships where I can really spend time engaged in the life of the campus by being on the campus and being with people.
All right, so on to our third and final question. A lot of people don't know this about you, but you're very well versed in sports. Of course, you talk about it a lot, but we've had many conversations on a deep level about competition, strategies, team and player development across all sports. So as the Mountaineers have a number 3 seed in this March Madness tournament in their region, how far do you really think they can go?
First of all, we have a very good team. They have not played quite as well the last 2 or 3 weeks as I would expect them to play, but we do have an excellent team. We have a Hall of Fame coach. We have a tremendous following. The Mountaineers are always kind of everyone's favorite. I tell the story that I was in Whitefish, Montana, watching us play play Texas, and everyone was kind of looking at it, and Texas had gone way ahead of us, and people lost interest. Then all of a sudden they came back, and at the end of the game, and these were people who didn't know I was the president of the university. I was just sitting there kind of looking obscure, and everyone broke out singing Country Road, the greatest song in the world. So yeah, I do enjoy sports, but the reason and the debates you and I have had, the conversations, not debates, because you and I sort of view the world the same way in this regard, is the fact that sports is a great way to tell the story of the university. It's a storytelling opportunity. If you do well, you can tell a great story. If you don't do well, you have to understand why that is. And my view is that if we're going to play, if we're going to teach physics, let's be the best we possibly can at it. If we're going to have an English department, make it excellent. If we're going to play sports, then let's be the very best we can. It's about institutional excellence, and it's also about storytelling. And over years, because I've chaired the Reform Commission of the NCAA, I'm on the college football playoff board of directors right now, determining whether or not we're going to expand the playoff. All those things I've had to learn a lot about sports. But I'm 5'6" and I weigh 150 pounds. I obviously was not playing it. I was observing it.
Well, that's it. That's 3 rapid fire questions with Gordon Gee, president of West Virginia University. Thank you, my friend, for taking the time with us today, and hope to see you real soon.
Yeah, well, honored to be here, James. You know that. And best wishes to you, my friend.